Good evening, DES racing fans. Welcome to another Saturday night Premier League race here with DES. As always, with me in the booth is Edwin Warren. Edwin, what do you think about the race tonight here at New Hampshire?
I think it's going to be a real fun one. This is a flat track. I believe it's like a mile long. So they're going to have to really battle the fatigue that the tires are going to feel.
Yeah, here at New Hampshire, they call it the Magic Mile, man. But it is, as you can see, we have some wrecking during the warm up, but it's pretty much a flat track. So it is going to be tough. It's kind of, like a Martinsville feel, but um, gonna be interesting to see if we have lots of green flag laps tonight or if we're gonna have a lot of cautions.
Yeah, I feel like we should have some green flag runs. This track is pretty simple, but we might have a lot of early stage cautions when these guys are getting their tires up to temp because it's very easy to spin out here with how flat it is.
Yeah, get on throttle too early, and you're going to get spun out. But let's go ahead and look at the lineup here. We got the 35 of Judson Curtis sitting in our pole position with the 88 of Hunter Davis trying to do a three in a row win tonight here, starting on his outside.
Followed up with that, we've got Tom Ringer, the current points leader, with his teammate Todd Perrant sitting right next to him in P4.
Row three, we got the 73 of Beer Run Racing John Crosby on his outside. The winner of the Legacy Truck race from tonight, Max Dinda.
Right behind them, you got Mark Holloway, a fellow Rat Fink driver, and Tanner Honeycutt starting in P8, TRN driver.
Rounding off your top 10 here, we got the 67 of Charles Connor on that inside line on his outside. Another Beer Run racer, Tad Dabney in that 9 machine.
For that, we've got Craig Knoll in that gorgeous number 63, and then Jonathan Geist in the 32 and P12, TRN driver.
Row 7, starting in 13th, is going to be the 3 of Sean Dion on his outside. Rat Finks, number 4, Chuck Burley.
And that's going to be the conclusion of everybody who did qualify. Other than that, you've got, after Chuck Burley, you got Zachary Ham. He is also a podium finisher in the Legacy race, so he qualified to be here in the 100. And then you've got Brian Souza. He is going to be starting P16 with Brandon Hinton all the way back in P17, the third place person in the points for these guys.
Now, don't let that 17th position fool you. That 5 truck is fast, and he's going to be looking to work his way all the way up into the front tonight.
Looks like he's got a bit of a different look today, too. Normally, we see him in that nice pink and sky blue car, but he's rocking a black one. This is actually made off of a paint scheme I believe Kyle Larson ran. So he did his best imitation of it with his own colors and name on it.
Yeah, he's been doing a lot of paint schemes here. He is a huge Kyle Larson fan. He even runs the 5 Kyle Larson Cup number, and he's been doing some really, really good jobs. I mean, I'm been seeing all the pictures that he's been putting up of all these paint schemes. I mean, he has some talent when it comes to making those paints.
Oh yeah, we've got a lot of guys who are really good at making paints out here. Hunter Davis, Tom Ringer, Todd Perrant, Chuck Burley himself too. Those guys are all amazing at it. As we're coming out now, turn 4, and we're getting ready to get this race underway here at New Hampshire.
Green flags in the air. They are off. Here comes the 35. He didn't get the jump he was hoping for. That first start of the night, they do have to wait for the green flag, so that does give kind of a fairness to everybody. Oh, and we got one spinning already in the back. Caution flag is going to come out.
Caution flag waves as Hunter Davis clears the 35 of Judson Curtis. And just like he said, right, as we get in this replay real quick, we're going to take a look at this and see what happened first. Guy's peeking his nose under the 9. They still keep it all wrapped together. Looks like the 9 just he got on throttle a little too hard and snapped that vehicle around.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for him, but luckily it's going to be early in the race. I mean, we're still going to have 143 laps to go here, so hopefully he didn't get too much damage and he can get right back out on track.
Oh, one thing we didn't notice here, Geist also spun into the wall. So if we look at that replay a little bit longer with Jonathan Geist, you'd actually see him snapping into the wall as well as they try to avoid the wreck.
But
So he
while
gets
we
around.
go,
There it is.
yeah, oh, there it is. Yep. Yeah, he was just trying to avoid, and I mean, everybody's trying to avoid, kind of didn't have enough time to slow down, getting into each other out there. So, yeah, I didn't see how much damage exactly he got, but hopefully he's able to recover from that as well.
Well, he got a little bit of damage from the 9 already. He tagged him, and it looks like the 4 was on the brakes and trying to not spin himself out by locking them up. And it looked like Geist was kind of right in that trajectory, and it just happened. And he says he just got 40 seconds of damage over that, too. So, lucky move for him, lucky break. Looks like we're gonna have 2 cars that could potentially go a lap down now. Jonathan Geist and Chuck Burley, as they're still on pit road. So we're gonna see if they end up going a lap down. Geist out. He's not gonna go a
Yeah,
lap now.
and even if they do go lap down, like I said, I mean, we're lap 3 of 145 right now. So they're gonna have enough time to where caution's coming out, stage breaks and stuff, getting that lucky dog. So Burley being the only one a lap down, if I was in his position, I would stay in and get as much damage repaired as I could right now.
I wonder how much he got because it looked like he kind of got off easier than those guys, but maybe he got some radiator damage or something that caused him to have to stay in there an extra lap.
You know, he might just be trying to make sure that he gets all of his damage repaired. Doesn't want to come out there with anything, you know, because especially a track like this, you want to make sure that your car is tight, your wheels are pointed the directions they need to be, and everything is kosher.
Yeah, he definitely wants to make sure that he's not having any kind of extra issue that'll cause him to have any issues. But Paystar off, Hunter Davis, it's now on him in the Geico restart zone. And look at that. Right there as he hits the gas. You see that front end pick up, man. And watch it slam to the ground when he gets into the corner. They just suck right into the asphalt.
Yeah, and you can definitely tell on that restart that the difference in the initial start where everybody goes on the green compared to every restart after that where you go on the leader, you know, that gives you a huge advantage as the 88's able to get out there, get to a comfortable position to where now he's able to run any line. He's got the whole track to himself, and he doesn't have to worry about somebody being on his inside or his outside and having to change the way that he drives the truck.
And you know, that's one interesting thing, and you touched on that note perfectly. New Hampshire is a flat mile track, but it's a multi-groove track. You can run down there by the line, the white line. You can run 3 lanes up. But you could even get all the way onto the apron if you're risky enough. And as you can see, a lot of guys running that 2nd to 3rd lane right now. Nobody down towards the white line.
Yeah, so this track does have a slight bank. It is not completely flat. We all consider it a flat track because, I mean, compared to most of the other tracks, it is extremely flat. But that bottom line closest to the apron is about as flat as you're going to get. So trying to run down there is not good. You'll get loose going down there, and it's really bad on your tires as well.
Yeah, you got to really pay attention to the tire wear. That's going to be the kind of conversation of the day, as Chuck Burley has now gone 4 laps down, so he might have had some terminal damage. But as we're watching this race, look at them guys fanning out right there. You got Craig Knoll, Charles Connor, Mark Holloway, all right there fanning out. Zachary Hammy involved as well. They're jostling for some positions.
Yeah, and you got the 17 truck Chuck Burley. He's in last place right now. With all that damage, he's kind of hanging back there. I'm not sure if that's due to still having a little bit of damage, or if he's just he knows he's 4 laps down. He's not racing anybody, so he's just going to conserve tires, kind of get a feel for the track, and wait for those cautions to come out so that way he can start getting his laps back.
The biggest benefit for him is here in the Premier League, if I do remember correctly, we do have stage breaks, right?
We do.
Yes, so he can plot that's 2 guaranteed cautions. So as long as he remains the only car a lap down, that's 2 lucky dogs. Now, after that, he's just got to kind of hope that there's 2 other extra cautions in there, which at a track like this, tires get heating up, you start losing grip. There's more of a chance of somebody spinning it on you because these guys have not separated from each other. I mean, the leaders are still within a second of each other.
Yeah, so tonight laps 30 and 70 are going to be our stage break. So he knows that here in about 20 laps, he's going to have the chance to. Ooh, and I hear somebody spinning. No caution is going to come out, but I heard spinning and that safer barrier getting a little bit of contact on it. But we are going to stay green here. But like you were saying, lap 20, he is going to have a chance to make his way back up. Ooh, getting loose there. Who was that? That is the 101 of Max Dinda, who's able to save it, so that's pretty good.
Now, one of the things that is great, you got Max Dinda and Zachary Ham out there. Those guys qualified to be in this race based off their lucky dog status. You know, they raced in the Legacy. That race happens before this race. And if you finish on the podium and you are not a premier driver, you do have a chance to be invited for a one-off appearance here in this race. All right. And Max has won it twice. This is his second time making his appearance. Zachary Ham finished if I remember correctly, P3 in the race, and he is now also qualified as he is on the podium. Actually, earlier in the Legacy race, all 3 people were eligible, but one of them was unable to make it.
Yeah, and just a little side note here, that number 5 car that was started P17, and I told you to watch him as he's working his way up front. He's made it all the way up into the top 10. He's sitting in that 10th position, and he's not showing any signs of slowing down. Right now, he's trying to make a move on the 67 of Connor, as well as the 100 of Zachary Ham. He's got kind of both of those guys there together, and if the 100 is going to slow down the 67, that's going to give the 5 opportunity to just easy pickings there, take him, and start working on Zachary Ham next.
Especially after a pass like that, because you kind of slide jobs going on this track. So for him to get up there and make that pass, that definitely hurt them. As you can see back there now, that 5 car is getting close. He is right there within a 10th of Charles Connor. So he's now going to try and dive to his inside and hopefully make a move.
Yeah, as long as he's able to ride his line and make it stick here, I mean, he's got the speed. Watch him within the next couple laps. He's going to be able to get up underneath that 67 and pass him.
So we've reached our first point of now multiple cars lap down. Craig Knoll has gone 3 laps down. I think he spun and had some kind of an issue. That's going to hurt Chuck Burley even more because he needs to be in front of that car. That car has to go down another lap, and he has to pass him.
Yeah, but if we look here at the 63, he is back on track, so he is 3 laps down. Chuck Burley's going to have to catch up and pass him or hope that something happens. But, I mean, we still got plenty of racing. If he gets the lucky dog next, it's not going to be the end of the world. The 4 is so race conscious and smart that he's going to be able to play it to his advantage, and everything's going to end up working out for him on the end, as I think we're going to see him finishing on the lead lap tonight.
Yeah, as Max Dinda is kind of having some trouble getting past some cars in front of him. That's kind of stuff that those guys who are lapped down want to see. They want to see those guys kind of struggle to make passes, potentially cause an issue, because if a caution comes out, they are the benefactors of it. And they could even stay out a little longer and they could just get a wave around. There's so many options, but you need that caution to get that option.
Yeah, Friday night in our next gen series. I mean, it was some great racing. It was a track that I despise, so I did not do very well. But we went all 135 laps green. Look here, the 73. He had a big run there on the 69 coming on the backstretch. Wasn't able to make the pass, but he's able to come down here and get low and hopefully stay behind the 101 there and make this pass here pretty soon.
I think what he was trying to do was kind of push that car into the, and that actually worked out here as he's now on the inside. He pushed the 69 into the corner, not wrecking him, of course. He's not going to cause an issue, but he pushed him in, put him a little bit faster than he wanted to be on entry, which allowed him to get underneath him because the 69 would have had to slow up to prevent hitting the wall.
Yeah, and that's just you're not wrecking anybody. You're not doing anybody any harm. All you're doing is kind of, hey, I'm going to manipulate my car in a way that's going to cause your car to go into a line you're not comfortable with and you're not fast in and use it to my advantage. Some people don't like that kind of aggressive style, but here in the Premier League, the 73 knows that if he does do that slight little bump and run there on the 79 or on the 69 rather, the 69 is a good enough driver to where he's not going to get loose and spin out. The 73 also knows just how much pressure he needs to put on him. But looky here, as we have the 35 making a pass on the race leader Hunter Davis in the 88 here.
Yeah, he's going back to take that position. He was the pole sitter, and Hunter Davis got a good launch and was able to beat him, and it allowed him to lead all the laps currently right now. 35 is still there, so but he has to concede to the 88. Let the 88 still have the position for right now.
Yeah, and I mean, he's such a heads-up driver, too. He knows that we're just now starting lap 23. In 8 laps, we are going to be going to our first caution. That's going to be 10 points to him for the end of the stage, and he's going to go into defensive mode right here, I think.
Yeah, as of right now, what he's trying to do is trying to hold on. He wants to get those 10 points, maximize his points, because remember, he's P2 in the point standing right now. Yes, after this race, drop races hit, but he wants to make sure he maximizes this as the 35 maximizes that outside lane and gets right on the inside of Hunter Davis and clears him into 1 and 2.
What a good move there, being able to do that. He rode that high line, was able to get that advantage coming onto that front stretch and was able to cut low there and used all that momentum to be able to secure that pass.
Now that's some car control, and you could tell Hunter Davis did not want to let him get away. He put it in hard on that corner to try and hang there still, because he knows if he's there on that car, he has the ability to beat him on exit. But man, Judson Curtis just took him to town and is already almost to a second gap on him.
Yeah, and in the meantime, while all that's happening, if you look back in the 9th and 8th place positions, the 5 making more moves just past the 13 of Tanner Honeycutt to move up a little bit more into that top 10. He's now sitting in 8th place, and he's just got half a second difference between him and the 69 and 7th, and with them two battling up there, the 100 of Zachary Ham and the 69 Todd Brunt, that's going to slow them down, and that 5 is going to be trying to move up and gain more positions before our first stage break here in 4 laps.
Looks like early on we kind of have 2 pace setters right now. You know, you got Judson Curtis and Hunter Davis. They've kind of separated themselves from the field. But then right behind that, I mean, you've got Tom Ringer, Max Denda, and John Crosby all right on top of each other. Right behind that, Zachary Ham, Brandon Hinton, Todd Perrott, and even Tanner Honeycutt on top of each other too. So a lot of good battles going on all over the track right now.
Yeah, but you got to also look at it as to where guys have started to where they are now. You have a lot of them who are sitting where they expected to be, where they gridded. You have Judson Curtis started first, sitting in first. Hunter Davis gridded P2, sitting in second. Tom Ringer started third, in third now. You work all the way down. Zachary Ham, he gridded in 15th and is currently in sixth. Behind him, Brandon Hinton, who just secured the pass on the 69, he started 17th and is sitting in seventh.
Yeah, Zachary wasn't even actually too positive about this track. He felt like he wasn't going to be competitive, and he's clearly showing that he does have some competitive pace right now. As Tom Ringer is starting to go in the wrong direction, he was in that P3 position, and he is going all the way back to P5 right now.
Yeah, Max Dindo was able to get that pass on him and kind of get a good gap going. But in the meantime, with him being off pace like he is, the 73, he's working on the inside, trying to do something here as the caution is about there. It's the caution. That's going to be the stage break. Looking at our top 10 for these stage winners, we're going to have the 35 Judson Curtis, 88 Hunter Davis, Max Dinda in third, Tom Ringer in fourth, 73 of John Crosby in fifth, Zachary Ham in that 100. He's going to be coming in sixth, Brandon hitting the 5, working up 10 positions to finish in seventh, Tanner Honeycutt in that 13 and 8th, Todd Perront in 9th, and the 67 of Charles Connor coming in 10th.
Now, we do have 3 cars multiple laps down now. I think this is the time for that wave around. I'm not exactly sure what their fuel window is, but they might be able to wave around and then keep going on.
While these guys are going to go ahead and do their first pits of the evening, we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back here in New Hampshire with DESI Racing.
Hi there, I'm Denise St. Clair, and I am so excited to introduce my co-host for today's exciting event. Former champion of the Albuquerque Open, it's Monica Blake, everybody.
I'm thrilled to be here, Denise. Why don't we get started?
Absolutely.
So no one wants to play with dirty equipment. That's why you have to keep your balls clean. Problem is, bar of soap just doesn't cut it. See? Still dirty.
Well, how can guys clean their balls so that they're more enjoyable to play with?
Well, there's finally a tool that can really get the job done. The Axe Detailer. Cleans your balls. Why don't we start with these small balls? With a soft side for lather, and a rough side for scrubbing, this can make any ball sparkly and new. Go ahead and play with those clean balls, Denise.
Wow. Could play with these balls all day. Let's see if the audience has any questions.
You there.
Can it clean these filthy balls?
Throw those fuzzy suckers down here. Look. Cleans right through the prickly surface.
What about my ball sack?
Just plop it right here and let's get to work. It's a big ball sack.
Monica, it looks like we have time for one more demonstration.
Come out here, Mr. Hackerman.
Monica, can you help me with these dirty balls?
Hank, the Axe Detailer offers such a crazy clean. It can even clean your old balls.
Wow. They look like new.
Incredible. There really is no...
Coming around to the green flag right now, Judson Curtis gets a nice jump on Hunter Davis, and look at that front end, gonna slam back down to the ground. Now you've got Max Denda also into the fray. Ooh, gets loose there, and it allows the 88 to check on out, get secured right there.
Yeah, these first opening laps of each stage is going to be the most precarious, I feel. You know, the most danger is going to be involved. These guys are on fresh tires. They're going to be slick. We're sitting at a track temp of 106, so it's a little bit of a hot track out there. Not too bad. But the biggest thing is these guys are all going to be clumped up together in a big cluster. So these guys having to fight around each other, trying to gain all the position they can coming out after the green comes out. These guys are just going to be slipping and sliding, new tires. I mean, if we're going to get a caution, it's going to be within the first 5 laps of going green.
As they're starting to kind of single file out, kind of sort themselves out, we're going to bring up the ticker here on the left side for you so we can see the running order of these guys. Hunter Davis is trying to get up there to Judson Curtis. Remember, he's trying to do that three-peat. He wants to win 3 races.
And one thing that we're going to have to keep an eye out for is the 4 of Chuck Burley. He did not pit. So they can go about 50 to 55 laps on a full tank. He's sitting on 30 laps since the last time he pitted. He's trying to do everything he can to get his lap back, but we need to keep an eye on him. He's going to be hoping that a caution comes out so he can go in and pit, but, I mean, that as green as we've gone tonight, I don't know how it's going to go.
Yeah, these guys are all over each other. They are right on top of each other, but at the same time, they're being courteous. They're understanding there's a car near them. So trying to hope on cautions, I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, everybody's going to be trying to play it safe. We got 110 laps here left to go. We've still got almost 2 full stages as we've just gone green in stage 2. And lap 70 is going to be our next stage. So we do have about 33 laps left to go before we reach our second stage, and I don't know if Chuck's going to be able to push that fuel out that far.
It's going to be really hard. I mean, it just boils down to hoping on cautions. If cautions don't happen, he doesn't get the laps back, and that's kind of where it's at right now.
Yeah, and I mean, he's capable of doing it, and I would love to see him pull it off. I think it's going to be awesome if he does. It's just one thing that I'm going to be keeping an eye out for because it's going to be pretty stressful inside that cab for him.
One other thing you called out to keep an eye on is Brandon Hinton. He has dropped to P7 just due to the restart of starting on the outside, but he has caught Tom Ringer as well as Zach Ham, and he is already looking for an avenue to get around these guys.
Yeah, and if you notice, there's really not as many gaps here as there was in the latter part of that first stage. These guys are staying close. They're more comfortable on track. They know what lines they need to run. They know how hard they can push their cars. And we really haven't had any changes in position since this green flag came out. I mean, Judson Curtis still P1. Hunter Davis, Max Denda, John Crosby. I mean, our top 5 is the same as it was when we went green.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that they used the first stage to see where their legs are at. The second stage they're kind of using for, racing around other people to get a better understanding. Because remember, the third stage is longer than both the other stages. So right now they're still learning each other on the track. And so that third stage, I think it's going to be really exciting. I think we're going to have a real good show as we've got 6 trucks, I think it is, 5, 6 trucks, nose to tail.
Yeah, so what do you think is going on here? The 5 gained 10 positions from the start of the race to the end of stage 1 here. he is now sitting in 7th where he was when the end of the stage came out. Do you think he's biding his time? Do you think the other drivers? Oh, there he goes. He's trying to make a move right now. Do you think these other drivers just know how hard they can push their truck? Do they know what their tires are capable of? Or do you think that they're just kind of taking it easy and trying to ride out stage 2?
I think some of the guys in the first stage, they learned their fuel strategy. They learned where they're going to be. And some guys in the first stage, they learned how fast they can be. So now it's inverted, right? Some of these guys in the second stage are now trying to figure out how fast they can be, while the other guys who were doing the fast first are now trying to learn their fuel mileage. So it's kind of an interesting shakeup and an interesting mix-up, causing them to be closer together right now.
Yeah, and if we take a look real quick at our 11th position, that's the 60 of Brian Souza. He started all the way down in, I just had it, in 16th and was able to make his way all the way up into the top 10 coming at that stage break. Now he's kind of in a slow-going battle here with the 67 as they're trying to get a feel for the track and make a pass, trying to work back up into that top 10 again. But he's kind of dealing with the same thing as everybody else is here. It seems like, all of the big runners that were able to move so many positions there in the first stage, now everybody else is comfortable and knows what their truck has and how it handles here. So you see a lot of these guys were able to gain a lot of position here, and I don't think we're going to see a lot of that here in stage 2.
Yeah, you still got a guy wiggling out there, Max Denda. He's still really kicking that rear end out. So I don't think he's paying attention to the fuel mileage as much. But these guys are definitely putting on a show. Look at those 3 trucks right on top of each other, Christian. Do you think that's going to work out?
I think it's about to really test the patience of some of these drivers here. We have 2 non-premier Lucky Dog winners. You've got a premier driver sandwiched in between those 2, and it's gonna be a war of attrition out here. Who has the patience? Who has the tires? And just who has the fortitude to be able to hold what they got or make the move when the time is right?
So this is a perfect example here to ask this question, Christian. You're a very, how do I word it? You're a nicer driver than me. There we go. That's what I'm trying to say. You're nicer than me. I'm more aggressive. If you were in the position of, say, the 73 or the 100 of Zachary Ham, how would you handle this situation right now?
Look at them going 3 wide here. So me personally, if I was in that position, I would not push the envelope here. If it was nose to tail, like in that situation, I'm not letting the car behind me pass, but I also have to be studying, watching, and just trying to develop something for the truck in front of me. Learn his lines, see where he goes, see what my truck can do, while also keeping an eye on the truck behind me. But I'm not pushing anything, not trying to make any aggressive moves. I don't want to do anything to jeopardize the race of the guy in front of me. If I try to dive bomb on the inside and accidentally get into the back quarter panel of that truck in front of me, that's on me. That's pushing it hard, and now I have a guy who was running good, and he's going to end up having to go back to the garage and get some damage fixed.
Yeah, I'm a bit different as the 9 gets into the wall. He's right in front of them as left traffic. I'm a bit different. Those guys, yes, I would be trying to learn from them. But at some point, I'm going to look at the train right behind me forming, and I'm going to get a little frustrated. I'm going to say, you're holding me up. And I might give him a little tap in the rear end, push him into the corner, get him out of his line so I could get by him and put a gap. Yes, I lose out on the knowledge of how to run, but at the same time, I'm not costing myself. Because if you see right now, these guys are all lined up. Max Denda all the way down to Tom Ringer, all the way down to PA. Even further than that, as Todd Perrant and Charles Connor and Brian Souza are starting to get involved, I would say I'm going to get around you because we're now 2 seconds down on P2. I need to get around you.
I feel like the 73 is doing almost exactly how I'd do it. Yeah, he lost a position, but watch how he does this. He's not diving it down. He's not trying to go high. He's filling that mirror full. When the 100 looks in his mirror, all he's going to see is the windshield of that car behind him. And he's going to just wait for the opportunity for that 100 to wash up the track or make some kind of mistake and get up underneath him, get into the, better position. And like right now, you see that 100, he washed up to the track a little bit. 73 tried poking his nose down there, and he's letting him know that he has the intent of passing him. He wants to pass him, but he's not going to push it and put either of them in jeopardy. So the 100, he changed his line. Now he's running a little bit lower because he knows that the 73 wants to get on the inside. It's kind of a mind game there.
Yeah, you're 100% right. For me, that mind game puts me in a different standing. For me, I see this going on. I get my mirror full with a car. That means the truck that I'm behind, I'm filling their mirror, now needs to move. Now, you would be different, as you've already stated. You would see that you're filling the mirror of that truck right there in front of you, but you got somebody filling your mirror. You're just going to be as consistent as possible. I would fail that mind game, and I would look at it as get around him now.
Absolutely. And I'm really bad about this, and it is to my own detriment. If I know that the car behind me is a lot faster, I have the habit of I'll get out of the way. I'm not trying to hold somebody up and ruin their race, especially like right now. We have 14 to go before the stage. I'm okay losing a position to somebody who could get frustrated and put the bumper to me if I don't move.
And as two people have raced together multiple times, that's why you see you have a more consistent track record versus myself. Aggression does not breed the finishes that you want it to. So I would have to actually say the smarter move here is what you're saying, what the 73 is doing. He's just filling that mirror, letting him know he's not dive bombing, he's not putting a bumper to him, he's not messing with him, as he just caused him to get loose right there on exit of turn 4. He's doing it the right way versus my way of I'm going to go up and I'm going to go tap the bumper, the 101. That's how you make enemies. That's how you create bad races.
Yeah, but to caveat on everything that we've just said, the issue with what's going on here is they spent enough time. The email was sent, it was received, and the 5 has accepted the invite to the party. He is going to try and make a pass, and he's going to slow all of those guys down and take away any opportunity that they're going to have to in hopes of gaining any kind of track position.
And that's what makes it worse, and that's how my mind would go, is I'm sitting here trying to bide my time, and now I've been caught by somebody else. So there's a potential that there's a little frustration going on in this group, but these guys are all really smart. They're going to take that little frustration that they're being quote-unquote hung up, and they're going to put it to the best of their ability. They're going to go, hey, let me run my line better. As the 100 is now trying to pass the 101 right now, they're going to say, let me put my foot forward. And they're, we got a car loose in the front, the 101.
Yeah, eventually somebody's going to make a mistake that is going to, put them off pace and kind of get them hung out there.
As we see here in this replay, the 100's kind of peeking, not really there yet. He kind of just bides his time, gets a better exit. Oh, the 101 actually hits the wall, maxed into the wall.
See, and that is what the patience does there. The 100 is gonna. He has not made the pass yet, but now he's on his inside and is letting him know that he's there.
Yeah, I think he's hit that moment as well as the 101 again. Max Denda loose again. He is definitely starting to feel the pressure. And I think Zachary Ham's letting him know, hey man, you've allowed 2 trucks now to catch us. I need to get by you. And there he goes to the inside again. He's going for that move. He's right there on that white line, that area where you can get very loose. You called it out perfectly, Christian, but he was able to run it as the 101 of Max Denda gets a little loose again.
And it's wild to watch how he's able to get loose like that and keep that truck up underneath him and not lose any pace.
Yeah, he's driving the wheels off that thing as Zachary Ham tries to do a quick switchback and actually hurt him. He got a little loose himself. But, you know, their little battle, they got a gap, and now that gap is gone again. The 73 and the 5 are there again.
We look around, we have had some more movement. Chuck Burley is now the first truck a lap down. He is 58 laps out there on a car that should only be able to go 50 laps on a tank of fuel, but he's in danger of getting lapped again. That's just because he is saving fuel so much right now. He knows he's not battling anybody. He can't gain any position. There's nothing he can do in the mix of cars. So might as well take his time and try to just save all he can and hope that he can make it these next 5 laps before the end of stage 2.
Well, he got a little benefit there. You know, we've got 3 cars that have now officially DNF from this race. Tad Dabney, Craig Knoll, and Tanner Honeycutt, which is an interesting one because I think we missed what happened to him, but he is also DNF. So he is now officially the only car laps down who can gain from any kind of caution. As we were taking a look at here at Hunter Davis, he has dropped. He was 2 seconds behind Judson Curtis. Now he's got it to about 1.5 seconds. So maybe on the long run, he's kicking it into a new gear. But the stage break is coming. So he might not get there for this stage, but he will definitely be there on the restart as your P2.
And it does look like the 4 car of Chuck Burley, he does have to come down pit road to get fuel.
Yeah, he rode that thing for a long time. I mean, a very long time. I don't see anybody else making that long of a run on fuel.
So it's safe to say it did not work out the way he was hoping it was going to. He is now 4 laps down again, but coming here in the next lap, he will get a lap back, being the lucky dog.
Yeah, he is back on track. Oh, Hunter Davis gets in that corner, gets a little sideways. He's starting to move up the track. Tires might be a little cooked on that machine, and he's having to now focus on running a higher line. They've started to space out now, but the 101 Max Denda and the 100 of Zachary Ham are still right on top of each other, trying to do something. They battled this whole stage.
Yeah, putting on a show like this, I wouldn't be surprised to see, a couple more additions to full-time Premier Racing here coming in the future, as lap 70 is in the books, and we are under caution for our stage break, bringing the end to stage 2.
That is our second stage. Now here from lap 70 on, it's going to be all on them. Only cautions will come out if there is an issue. So I'm excited to see how this race goes, as we're going to take a quick commercial break while they get pit stop squared away.
Welcome back to New Hampshire with DESI Racing Premier Truck Race on Saturday nights. In the booth with me, we got one of the legacy truck drivers, lucky dog, golden ticket winner, Max Dinda, who's running out there, currently sitting in fourth place. Max, man, you won the race earlier this evening at the Glen. You got the golden ticket to come race out here, man. Tell me how you're feeling with how the track feels and how it is racing out here with these Premier guys.
Yeah, I mean, racing's going fine here. Give me 1 second. Yeah,
Going green.
it's all fun with these guys. They're good racers. Track is very tight. That's what you normally get with flat tracks. Oh, brother.
Justin Curtis spinning from the
we got
lead.
another one.
Crosby also around. That's a caution right there for you. All right, Max, appreciate you coming here for an interview.
Yeah,
I'm going to let you go down and race. Oh, well, never mind.
Yeah, I mean, it's a caution. Might as well have you stay in here for just a few more minutes, man. So, I mean, you've been battling out there pretty hard. You were like nut to butt there just for most of that stage 2. I mean, man, does it mean more to come out here and be running up front in the Premier than it does in the Legacy?
Yeah, for sure. This is for more than it means more than the legacy for sure. You get a trophy if you're a champion, I think. So that's cool. I'd say I'm good enough to be in Premier. I just want to focus on legacy for this season and move up to Premier next season. So just focusing on legacy, trying to get that championship, and trying to win the Xfinity championship as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think in the near future, we'd definitely be seeing you racing up here full time. But in the meantime, man, enjoy the race, enjoy the opportunities you got, and good luck tonight.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah, I'm not going to take any offense to Max saying that Legacy is easier, considering I'm his I'm the second person to him. But that's okay, man. He's a great driver. We're going to take a look at the replay here to see what happened, though. Looks like it was Judson Curtis, the number 35. He's already loose right there. I think he might be a victim of cold tires.
Yeah, it looks like, he just cold tires, got loose there. Good accident avoidance by the 101, especially mid-interview there, is able to miss him. But lap 76 of 145, gonna get ready to go green here in the next lap or two.
It's going to be... We're going to go ahead and bring in Hunter Davis, who's now currently leading this race. Hunter Davis, man, your biggest competitor just made a crucial mistake putting you back into the lead. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. This isn't my best track by any means. I'm still trying to kind of figure it out. Judson's got that high line down pretty pat, so I'm trying to learn from him and see what moves he's making to gain, because he'll gain about a tenth every lap and a half. But I don't know where his tires are at, but ultimately, man, it's been a fun race so far.
Yeah, so far, I mean, we're 77 laps down. You're on a hot track, 106. It's kind of flat. I know that the attrition out there is going to be hard, man. What is going to be a bigger in like your shoes? Is it going to be the patience on track, or is it going to be trying to manage those tires?
Track position plus saving tires. That's going to be the biggest thing.
All right, man. Well, wish you luck out there sitting in P1. We're getting ready to go green. Good luck.
Thanks, guys.
As he actually gets a really good start there, able to get a comfortable lead to where he can run the line that he wants. What do you think we're going to see here in this last and final third stage?
All about consistency now, because Hunter Davis knows he's faster than the two guys behind him. He just has to be consistent. And then, he's got the 35. He knows that he's spun. He knows he's back there. But if he maintains consistent and there's no cautions, he's going to be good to the end. So what about you? What are you looking forward to?
I mean, you nailed it right on the head. I think, especially with what we've seen with the 35, is all the speed, knowing the right lines to run. You know, your breaking points. All of that is great, and it's something that you need to keep like in your head. But being consistent on throttle, making it to where you don't slide, you don't get loose. All of that is going to be the biggest things that these guys need to do. As we've seen, you know, we had somebody who was the front runner. He won he was on the pole. He won stage 2. I believe he won stage 1, and now he's currently sitting further back because he got loose and wrecked out just from a mental error.
As Hunter is now extended almost to a second gap on these guys, as our 2 Legacy Lucky Dog qualifiers are running in P2 and P3.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely coming out here putting on a show. It's showing why they deserve to be running out here full time. You know, it's just these guys are fast, and it's just gonna come down to like what the 88 was saying. Is staying on those lines, keeping that track position, and being able to maintain those tires. If they can do that, then I think we're gonna see them finishing probably about where they are now. We see the 68. He's going to take the high line and try to make a move there on Max Dinda. It's currently showing him up in front coming down the backstretch. Let's see what he's able to do. It looks like the Max Dinda got a little loose there and just was off pace a little bit. We see some of these other guys, you know, we got the 56 of Mark Holloway. He's trying to make a move on his teammate 69, Todd Perron. They both race for Rat Fink. Running close here. Something's going to have to give, though, as he does make that move. He's going to be trying to make a move on the 73, who we seen earlier really has patience, and he knows when to not push the envelope. He's got the 69 in front of him. He's just going to ride it out and not make any kind of errors.
Now, we did see Judson Curtis. He spun, but he is currently making his way back up. He's sitting in the P10 position, battling Mark Holloway, trying to get back up there to the front.
Yeah, would you be pushing it hard this time? Would you be trying to maintain? What would be going through your head if you were sitting in that driver's seat right now, knowing that we're 13 laps into a 50-lap capacity run?
If I was in his shoes, and I know how fast I am, and I know I'm, unfortunately, the fastest, not unfortunately, but, you know, fortunately, fastest truck on the track, I'm going to be looking to run my line. I'm going to get up to that high line that I've been good at, and I'm going to sail past people. But I'm also going to continue managing my tires, because Hunter Davis is not putting a gap on this field. He is not that far ahead of him. He has a chance to get back up there. So I would definitely just focus on consistency. Again, that's where it's going to come down to. I just got to be consistent.
Yeah, and that's one of my biggest issues is I can run fast laps. I can qualify up front. I'm able to get some of those, you know, good starting positions and gain position. It's the consistency and the fall off from the tire management and stuff. And, you know, I got to give it to these guys on how they're able to maintain that pace plus maintain their tires, their patience, and just staying consistent. As you can see, Zach Ham has not let Hunter Davis just take off with his lead. He's keeping him right there to where he can see him, and he's you know, slowly working that gap smaller and smaller and getting closer to him. As we are back here, Edwin, look at the 100 of Zachary Ham. He is not letting up on the 88 at all.
No, he's been hounding him, and they've actually been separating from the guys behind him. But this is the crazy part. He's been hounding him, but can't make the pass. He just doesn't have the momentum quite yet.
Yeah, I think right now, as we're about to conclude 100 or 99 laps, about to start lap 100. I mean, these trucks they've given it all that they've got. It's going to be really hard to find any extra speed. As you see the 100, he's starting to get slippery or slippy slidey out there. These guys are 28 laps on the. Oh, is that going to bring out a caution? It is not. Oh, there it goes. There goes the caution. Caution does come out. That's
looks like the 73 and the 100 were involved. 101.
This is a replay of the restart from way earlier. Let's see. I imagine we're going to see a lot of these guys going down pit road here. 101 laps in the books. We've got 45 laps remaining here. New Hampshire Motor Speedway in the DES iRacing Premier Truck Leagues. We'll go to a quick commercial break as these guys are going to be getting ready to go down into the pits, get topped off on fuel, and get some new tires. I mean, this came out perfect for these guys. I mean, it just about split down the middle, right where these guys needed to be, so they could pit and get back out there.
Yeah, with the 73 having that issue of John Crosby, that's definitely going to change it up. So we definitely will hit a quick commercial break. Then we'll come back and check out the replay, and we'll see what's going on.
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings.
I got it. Let Christian go away. I got you. We are back live here. We're going to take a look at what happened with the 73. Looks like he overcooked it on the corner, caught it with the rear end, hit the front end on it too, and it was just really slow on the wall, and that was the call for the caution right there. Slower paced truck. They definitely don't want that out there. Now, as we are grouping up, lights are off on the pace car. We're getting ready to go back. Green flag racing. Hunter Davis leading the way, but Judson Curtis, he's into the P5 position. He is coming back for that front spot. Pace car is off. 88's going to have the jump. He gets a nice jump. Max Dinda actually in P2. Zach Ham was in P3, but they both get a jump on Max, and they're into the corner, back into the order they were running before the caution came out. Now with this fresh set of rubber and fresh tires on the cars, hopefully they get to space out a little bit more, because they know they just have to go a little over 40 laps right now. Zachary Ham is not letting Hunter Davis get away. He is trying to stay right with him. But towards the end, right before the caution came out, Hunter started putting space between them. That's the difference between consistency and taking the shot. As he even gets loose, that shows he's pushing. He's trying to get to the front of the
Oh, and
grid.
there's a wreck, and caution does come out again. Going to be coming out of turn 4. Not sure exactly who that was or who was involved. We'll have to go back and take a look at it.
Might have been something with Tom Ringer, our current points leader. Something might have happened there.
Yeah, it's going to be the 67 there, yep.
He got loose, came down the track, and clipped the 68.
Yeah, you see him just get loose there, and unfortunately 68 was right there with his quarter panel, and that's just 67 comes out smelling like a rose, not even going to have really any damage, but that 68 is going to be pretty hurt.
Yeah, they're both going to have some issues as we go to a quick commercial break as Chuck Burley back on the lead lap.
Isn't clear about what doing drugs does? Okay, last time. This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Hey, Lindsay?
And we've got Zachary Ham in the air. He is running in the P2 position P3 position right now. You won a berth to get into this race. How is the track feeling for you?
Yeah, I haven't had any real practice here other than before the race. And surprisingly, I feel really good as the race has gone along. I've kind of figured it out, and I feel pretty fast.
It looked like you were kind of peering at Hunter Davis the entire time before the last caution came out, but then he kind of got a little bit of gap to you before you guys came down and got tires. Are you out there pushing, or what's the strategy?
Yeah, no, I'm saving. Just riding, saving. Now we'll see how race plays out, but yeah, saving tire.
Yes, sir. That is a well race that you've got going on. Christian Clark, got any questions for him?
No, man, I just want to say, I mean, you really showing why you earned that ticket tonight. You did really good in the Legacy race, and now you're up here with Premier, man. So good luck, and wish you the best, man.
Thank you.
So we're about to go back to Green Flag Racing. You remember that guy you called out, Christian, to keep your eyes on?
Well, look at him now. He's worked all the way up to the 4th position, man. Brandon Hinton is a force to be reckoned with. He's kind of hard to keep an eye on, and I think he's trying to do a little incognito ninja move here. He's usually in that, like, cyan and chartreuse, super bright, like, Miami Vice paint scheme there, but tonight he's just kind of running a black and I mean still the same blue, but people aren't able to keep an eye on him out on the track like they usually can.
Yeah, and he's up there battling now. He's actually losing to P5 now, as Judson Curtis is now in this. And then another guy you also called out, because you seem to have a real good knack of calling out some good drivers. Chuck Burley is back on the lead lap, and he is out there to race.
To caveat off of what you were saying, man, I am fully well aware that I am way better at this broadcasting stuff than I am racing. So week in and week out, we come in here, you and I sit in the booth, we talk about these drivers, we watch their driving habits. When you are on track, I race the ARCA, we do the Cup Series and we do the Legacy Series. You get a feel for how they drive when you're out there on track instead of just watching how they drive on the broadcast. And so, I feel like get a good idea of how these guys are going to run. And I mean, Brandon Hinton just has all of that speed, and Chuck Burley is just so consistent. He's so smart, and I knew that before the end of the race was here that he would be back on that lead lap.
Yeah, he's a very methodical driver, and I mean, he paid attention. He made sure to put himself in the proper positions for things to happen, and it has paid off dividends. Same with Brandon Hinton. You know, I watch his videos too that he puts out. Man, he is methodical in his racing. He finds a groove. He makes sure that any situation he can get back to that groove and see how it's paid off for him.
Yeah, as we see these guys, they started to get kind of single file again here. Now is going to be the hard part of trying to just stay consistent and hope the guy in front of you makes a mistake, because that's what it's going to end up coming down to once they kind of get into this line and get split up like this.
And Judson Curtis is actually trying to go for the P2 position under Zachary Ham now. He has finally worked his way back to the front. Those restarts helped him out a lot.
Yeah, getting those cautions, I mean, for some people, it's not a good thing. You know, the 88, Hunter Davis, his lap times were super consistent. He was putting a gap in between him and Zachary Ham. It was starting to look really comfortable for him. And that caution came out, and it kind of didn't help him at all. You know, it is detrimental to the lead he had built. But you have like the 35 here. You have the 4 of Chuck Burley. I mean, you have so many of these guys that these cautions have been, you know, a saving grace to some of these guys. Chuck Burley, 4 laps down, back to the lead lap. The 35, Judson Curtis, spinning out of P1, getting all the way back into the back, almost to the back of the field. And the cautions have, you know, when these guys have split up, well, those cautions came out. He's been able to get new tires again. They've been close to where he has a chance to battle and gain some positions, and it's really worked for him.
Yeah, he's definitely made something out of a negative situation. He didn't lose his standing. You know, he stayed firm. He kept his resolve, everything, and it's paid off dividends for him now, as he's now in the P3 position, and Brandon Hinton is putting pressure on the 101 of Max Denda for P4.
Yeah, and Max here, he seems like he's off pace a little bit. He keeps getting a little loose out there, so I don't know. The track, he is cutting down onto the apron, onto that flat part. I don't know if that's going to be hurting his tires very much, but he does seem like he's losing a lot of time on Judson Curtis there.
Yeah, and you got the track change right there. You know, the lowest line is at 3 or 4 degrees of banking, but that bottom part is completely flat. It is 100% flat. So when he goes down there, he is causing himself to have to jump up a little bit of a hump, which normally on any of the other 1.5 or mile tracks, that would cause you to spin out. So maybe he's figured something out to help preserve his tires and is using that to his advantage, which nothing wrong with that. If you can preserve those tires as long as you need to, I say do it. Oh, Zach Ham in the wall.
Ooh, we got the 67. It sounds like got into the wall a little bit back there. I've seen one into the wall and heard him on the radio. Not sure exactly what happened, but somebody got into the wall and shot down to the inside of the track. We do stay green, though.
It looks like it was Mark Holloway actually got loose on exit and saved it from hitting the inside wall. So he was giving a call out to him for doing an amazing job.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we have too many black and red trucks going on. It's kind of hard when you're focused on the leaders and just see them in the background, and it's like, oh, it's red. All right, well, now I have 6 red trucks back there in a group. I got to figure out which one it was.
You know, that's something we had happen before, too, where there was a bunch of black, red, and white trucks. And then, you know, people got into the race and they saw everybody was kind of the same scheme. And then an explosion of different color paint schemes came out. And so that's something that could potentially happen again here is we got a lot of paint builders here in DES. So they're going to look at this and they're going to say, hey, the trucks I designed are blending in. Let me make them pop again.
But at the same time, how do you feel as a driver when you can be watching out your windshield and you notice a flash of some kind of flamboyant color in your mirror versus all of a sudden now there's a dark, dull colored vehicle on your inside and you're like, where did he come from?
They would take the flamboyant car appearing in my rearview mirror because then I know what's going on around track. I can identify people. These paint schemes are not just for if someone has a sponsor or anything like that. It's also their identity. It's what allows us to see them on track. So if I'm running a lap and I'm minding my own business and all of a sudden a pink and blue car appears, I'm gonna go, oh crap, Brandon Hinton has caught me. Versus if everybody's red and black and white again and somebody appears behind me, I'm like, I don't know who that is. I'm just gonna race him hard. It could be somebody that I know is a good guy and I know he's faster than me. You know, you want to have your distinguishability so that people know you're there. They don't want you to go, a truck is behind me. They want you to go, this person is behind me.
Yeah, and like you were saying, I kind of do miss those days to where I knew without a shadow of a doubt, if I seen a flash of orange, that's Mark Holloway, all the way. This is a 56. You know that if you see that that bright pink, that's Brandon Hinton. That I know exactly who that is. You know, and people used to run the same color and same ideas, and now, you know, they're all starting to branch out. As we've developed our teams, each team has a color scheme. You see these Ratfink guys, they're always running like a red, black, and green kind of color scheme. That's what Mark Holloway's transitioned to instead of his black and orange. But it's kind of cool to see. I could look out on track and usually, so most of the time, I can tell you who is on what team just from the color of their car.
Yeah, and that's what I like too, is being able to distinguish. Like, you know, you got Brian Souza out here in that bright yellow truck. Man, when he gets near me, I know that's him. I know he's there. And I can pay attention to that. Sean Dion used to have a white and blue truck. Now he's running a black and red one. But I used to know, hey, that's Sean Dion right there. Hey, that's Jonathan Geist. And that's all these guys. You know, you would be able to distinguish. So I do foresee a color explosion coming again because the diversity is what helps a lot. That allows us to know these guys and give them their claim to fame, as Judson Curtis shoved it on the inside of Zachary Ham, and he is saying, hey man, I need to get towards the front. The laps are ticking down.
Oh, and a caution comes out.
Sound like something with Tom Ringer. I heard him saying something on the radio about a sorry, so there might be something there.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and we're going to come back 18 laps and we're going to see where it is that this wreck happened. It does sound like I did hear the 68 get on there as well, so I'm not sure if he was involved or if he was just commenting on the wreck that happened.
Yeah, it could have been just something right around him. Oh, it's actually the 101 of Max Dinda. He actually goes around finally losing the rear end. He's been loose on exit multiple times, and it looks like it finally caught him.
Yeah, these guys got 26 laps on their tires. They're starting to get wore down. It is a hot track. It's just, man, I really hope the 5 doesn't have too much damage. These guys, they are going to come down pit lane, hopefully for the last time here. We should have about 15 to 14 laps to go once we go green again. So, you know, unfortunate for anybody that got damage in that.
Yeah, it looks like it was Brandon Hinton and Max Dinda finally came together, but they are now getting it sorted out and they're getting their cars repaired. And it looks like somebody goes in and almost beats out the whole field. Zach Ham almost had a chance to beat out Hunter Davis.
I would like to go if we can. I'll just do it. I got this pulled up real quick. I'm curious to see if Zach Ham took tires.
Yeah, I'm curious about that as well. He did, in fact, take tires.
Man, it just seemed like he was super fast, but he came in second place and came out in second place. So it just looked like a really quick look. Looking here, yeah, he's right there with Judson Curtis having a quick pit time, but Zachary Ham, I mean, his pit time was almost identical to the first place of Hunter Davis.
And that's why he got so close. But people with faster pit stops, you've got Judson Curtis, you've got Max Dinda, Charles Connor, all with much faster pit stops. So maybe potentially a little strategy coming into play right now. That's definitely times for 4 tires, but the fuel, we don't know about the fuel. And it looks like Judson Curtis actually came out in P2.
Yeah, he came out in P2, and he did take 4 tires as well. So, yeah, it's just quick. So, good job to his pit crew getting him out there pretty quick. And we're going green here. Let's see what the 88 can get done.
He's got to hold off Judson Curtis for 15 more laps. It's got to make it 15 laps of staying out front as he actually carries Zach Ham up with him, as well as Max Dinda trying to get there. They're going to battle that number 35 of Judson Curtis now.
This is exactly what the 88 wants to see in his rearview mirror. He wants to see all of those people starting together, battling for position, slowing each other down, so that way in these next 14 laps that we've got, he can just run away with this thing.
The 3P is looking more and more possible, but Judson Curtis has now cleared Zach Ham, so now it's just going to be a battle of the 2 strongest trucks tonight. Now, he did say that Judson runs a high line that is better than him, and if you look at that line that Judson's kind of running, he's kind of diamonding off the corner, which is allowing him to get closer and closer as they're now 2/10 separated. Look at him go high, and he's going to cut back down low towards the middle, and then he's off to the races, and that's another 10th game.
Yeah, the question is just going to be, what is the 88 going to do when he gets there? And is he going to be able to stay consistent and continue to carry that speed to get completely caught up to the 88?
He knows the 88 has a little bit more pace than him. So he is going to be doing everything in his power to stay in front of him. But with 15 laps to go, or less than that, we're about to come around to 11 laps left. He has no reason to save tire now. He can push as hard as he wants to.
And now here we are, Zach Ham. He's catching up. He's going to be trying to make it uncomfortable for the 35. 35's going to have to pay attention to what's going on behind him, as well as trying to wait for any mistake that the 88's going to have for him. But the 88 Hunter Davis is smart enough to also know when to run the line that works the best for him and when to run the line that's going to disrupt the car behind him.
Oh, Hunter Davis is methodical, and honestly, I swear, one eye is looking out front, the other eye is looking in the rearview mirror. He is paying attention to the best of his ability, and he is maintaining about a 3/10 gap on Judson Curtis. Remember, Judson Curtis caught him from about a second and a half down and passed him to win the first stage.
Yeah, I don't think that Hunter Davis is going to allow that to happen this time. Davis is going to do everything he can, stay consistent, stay fast, and make it extremely uncomfortable for the 35.
Car into the wall. Jonathan Geist into the wall.
He was able to save it. no caution comes out.
That truck is really hurt. He hit that wall hard. Exit of the corner, got loose, broke loose on him, and he's one of the ones that unfortunately goes to the inside wall versus just hitting the outside wall.
Yeah, hopefully he didn't get too much damage, but I mean, right now, really anything to get you off pace with this few laps to go is going to hurt you.
As you see, Judson Curtis has pretty much caught up. He's going to try that same diamonding move where he got the lead from Hunter Davis. He's going to try and do it, but the gap is just too big. Hunter Davis is going to hold on for another lap. Is it going to work now? He actually loses a little bit of time on the exit of that corner. And now he's going to continue to try and do that move again. He's going to try and diamond it off into Hunter Davis again.
Yeah, I just don't know how much momentum he's able to carry coming off of that turn. He has closed that gap, and now you see he's going to be trying to do what he can to wash the 88 up the track just like that, changing his line, confusing the 88 on where exactly he's going to be running, and that's exactly what happens there. But unfortunately, he's not able to make it stick. You know, that move he tried, it did get the 88, you know, kind of off kilter, not sure where to go, kind of washed him up the track, but at the end of the day, it killed his momentum, and he wasn't able to secure the pass.
Yeah, it looked like the 88 kind of ran his line to defend the position, and it worked out well for him. So now he has that in his arsenal. Now he's thinking in the back of his mind, hey, I can run that diamonding off maneuver on him to maintain my position. I can do that to him. But Judson Curtis is there. You got 3 trucks nose to tail on the, we're coming to 4 to go.
Yeah, one
Davis
thing
throws
is
the block.
Oh, getting a little close there, making a little contact through that turn.
They had a little bit of tapping done there that allowed Hunter Davis to stay in front.
Let's see what the one.
So aggressive, man.
See if the 100 of Zach Ham, see what he's going to be able to do here.
I think that's something Judson's thinking about. Is he's got that 100 right by as he goes for that diamond off move again. He's got that 100 right there. But look, the 100 gets in the way. Judson's not going to be able to cut down the way he's been doing. So he's going to have to stay high. These guys are fighting hard, man. I'm starting to really focus on this race, but we've got to do our job of commentating. Judson Curtis is trying his hardest to get there, but at the same time, you got Zach Ham going after him too, as they put almost 4 seconds on P4.
I was just about to say that these 3 guys are, you know, all out, shirts off, bare knuckle brawling out here, but at the same time, the big gap that these guys, they're carrying so much speed while they are running these lines and fighting for position that they've just kind of forgot about the rest of the field.
They don't have to think about him. As we're on the last lap, Judson Curtis gets loose, and coming through 3 and 4, Hunter Davis is going to have to make sure he hits all his marks coming through.
Here he goes, coming out of turn 4.
Yes, sir, winning his 3rd race in a row, the 3-peat in the Premier Series. Hunter Davis gets the job done.
Man, oh man, looking here, winner of Hunter Davis, but we're going to look at our top 10. We got P2, Judson Curtis, Zachary Ham, Max Dinda, P4, Todd Perron in 5th, Brian Souza in 6th, the 67 Charles Connor in 7th, Sean Dion in 8th, Mark Holloway 9th, and Brandon Hinton rounding off your top 10.
That was an absolutely phenomenal race. Absolutely crazy. We've already got our P3 finisher of Zachary Ham. He's in the interview stage. We're going to get him in here and we're going to take a chat with him. Zachary, man. How was that final shootout at the end?
That was a blast, man. Yeah, I gave it. You probably saw I put it in the wall pretty good. I gave it everything I had at the end there. I just didn't have enough.
Man, it's got to be a good feeling from going from doing well in the legacy race to coming in here to the premier race, which is the top level of racing for DES, and finishing where you finished, man. I mean, how are you feeling after that?
Yeah, man, that was a heck of a race. I'm exhausted.
You raced hard out there. I mean, you actually kind of messed up Judson at one point. He went to go high and dive in, and you put your nose in there. You were doing everything you could to get a P2 or the win today, man.
Yeah, and I started darn near last place too.
Well, yeah, you were able to work your way all the way up the field, man. Little Birdie told me that you weren't comfortable with this track and weren't even thinking about running it. What do you think about that now?
Yeah, I'm glad I ran it.
Well, congratulations on your P3, man. I imagine this isn't going to be the last time you're up here and we're talking to you.
Awesome, thank you.
We're going to get in our P2 finisher here. Judson Curtis, man, in the 35. How was that race for you?
Man, it was fun. I enjoyed it, man. Anytime you can race with Hunter and keep it clean, it's always a good time there.
Yeah, you guys were fighting awfully hard there. You guys were, I mean, back and forth, back and forth. You had your line. He seemed like he might have been trying to disrupt your line there for a little bit. I mean, walk us through like what was going through your head when you could get close to him and then you would fall back. You would get close to him and then fall back again.
I just kept regretting getting loose and spinning out in front of the field because I think if I would have kept that clean air, we might have had a shot, maybe a couple of more laps there at the end. We may have had something for him, but Hunter was quick, man. Fast truck probably won tonight, so congrats to Hunter there.
Yeah, that was one thing I was going to bring up. You did have that spin, man, and that kind of put you back, but then you shot through the field, man. What was going through your mind after that spin?
After the spin, I was just thinking, of course, here's another Curtis way of doing the damn thing. But I think a caution there came and put us back into contention there. So we put some rubber on there and light the fireworks and let the rocket fly.
Well, man, awesome to see you back up here. Always good to have you on track and watch your race. You always run well, man. So congratulations on your P2. We'll be seeing you again here pretty soon.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me, guys. I enjoyed it.
Man, talk to our three-peat winner here, the winner of the New Hampshire race, Hunter Davis. Man, what a clinic you put on out there.
Dude, that was an absolute blast. Congratulations, Zach, and to sorry, my dog's barking.
Even his dog.
Judson. There we go. Yeah, Zach and Judson, man. I had nothing for Judson with him rolling that high lane, so I tried to do my best to take away whatever line he was and carry a little more momentum closer to what he had. And man, that was just an awesome race.
Man, he caught you in the first stage from about a second and a half gap. And then he gets up there to you, and it seemed like he couldn't get any more closer than 2/10, man. What were you doing in those final 15 laps, man? It seemed like you were pushing it like whatever. I don't even know. You were pushing it hard.
Yeah, those last laps, man, and all gloves were off. I was doing everything I could to wheel this thing. This track is extremely loose on corner exit, so I was just steering into it and hoping for the best, and I think I got a little lucky. He got a little loose there coming to the white flag off 4. He tried to run a high line, so I tried to mirror his line just to prevent such a big drive off, and then after that, it was a pretty good finish.
Yeah, man. I mean, just watching you guys out there race was it was exciting. I kind of stopped talking there for a little bit. Was kind of in a trance watching you guys just battle it out like you were dancing on the track, man. So coming out here, did the track and the race and everything feel the way you was hoping? Your truck was super fast. Were you expecting to have to fight that hard out on this short of a track?
Absolutely. I am not a favorite of New Hampshire. This track is really difficult to me, just due to the flat corners. There's not much banking, so you can't carry a lot of speed in. Center a corner gets really loose, and then off an exit, like you have to hit it perfectly. It's hard to do side by side here because the high lane always drifts up there to that wall, and that's what you obviously trying to avoid. You kind of got to rotate to the bottom to pull it out to not get loose. So, I mean, ultimately, man, I'm not a New Hampshire driver, but this was a blast.
Well done, Hunter Davis, on taking home your 3rd win in a row, man. Are you going to try and make it 4 next week? Because this is going to be awesome to watch.
Hey, I'm going to do what I do every weekend, come out here and give it my all.
Hey, man, well, congratulations to you. I know that's big. 3-peat for you, bringing another win home to TRN. Those guys are probably just as happy as you are with how that worked out, man. It's always fun to watch you race.
Yeah, that was a blast, guys. Thanks for putting on this broadcast. Can't wait to go back and to watch it again. And once again, shout out to Zach and Judson. That was some awesome racing up front there.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you hopping up in here, taking the time, doing an interview earlier in your busy schedule of putting on a clinic for the rest of these drivers tonight. But that's going to do it for us here at New Hampshire for DES iRacing in the Premier League. I appreciate everybody that stopped by and watched. Anybody that did watch and wants to race, go to racedes.com. There's the links there so you can come in and race with us. Edwin, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate the producer, Damon O'Brien, for putting on the show.
Absolutely amazing. Race to watch. Thank you, Christian. Thank you, Damon. Hunter Davis, congratulations on the win. And see ya.